Hey, CTE, welcome back. We are beginning the chapter 7 of um, our book that we are reading. And we left Avon where she was, she'd had the first day of school and it sort of sucked. Uh, in fact, she wrote that school sucks and it's hotter outside than the dishwasher steam cycle, which, that was in chapter 6, which I thought was great as far as description. It was so much better than just saying it's so hot outside and I'm sweating, because you can just sort of picture in your head and feel it, how hot it is when you open the dishwasher in the middle of the cycle and all that steam pours out and it gets on your face and you're just like, whoa, that's hot. So, great word picture that she was able to put there rather than just saying hot. So, for all of you writers and readers out there, something to remember when you're writing yourself. Yeah, so she's still like, things aren't going great. She's good at school. She doesn't have a problem with that. It's just that nobody's really reached out to her to make friends. Um, so she's pretty much alone, and she's having to eat lunch by herself, so things aren't going great. So we're going to see what happens here in chapter 7, see if anything turns around in the next chapter. The next day at lunchtime, I headed to the bathroom again to wash my feet. But this time, when I finished, I couldn't bring myself to leave. I thought about the other kids watching me while I ate, and my stomach cramped up painfully like it had the day before. I locked myself in the handicap stall and sat down. I pulled out my lunch and began eating, careful not to put my bare foot on the floor or drop my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which would pretty much put an end to eating that day. I always ate peanut butter and jelly at school. That's because peanut butter and jelly sticks together nicely. A turkey sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and cheese would be a disaster for me. I'd seen people who couldn't even eat turkey sandwiches with their hands without stuff falling out all over the place. I imagine trying to eat a sandwich like that in the bathroom and everything ending up on the gross floor except a single slice of mayonnaise bread. I still managed to hold in my toes. I giggled at the thought. As I munched on a carrot, I heard a couple of girls enter the bathroom. They were talking about some cute boy who had looked at one of them. I rolled my eyes and continued crunching on my carrot, hopeful it wasn't as loud to them as it was to me. A ton of boys had looked at me. Heck, boys were looking at me all the time, but I didn't think this was how the boy had looked at that girl. When the bathroom was finally quiet, and the girls had obviously left, I packed up my stuff and headed to class. Art went a little better that day. Mr. Jeffries had apparently learned the lesson and didn't make any more pleas to help me on my behalf. And the day after that, I couldn't bring myself to eat in the bathroom stall again. Besides the fact that it was flat out gross, it was also depressing. Instead, I told myself to stop being such a coward, and I ignored my cramping stomach. I sat in the same secluded spot I had sat reading on my first day, and I ate my lunch hoping no one would notice me. Some kids did pass by and sneak glances at me, but I tried not to pay any attention to them or to my thumping heart. At one point, a group of 3 girls walked up to me as I took a bite out of my string cheese, carefully held between 2 toes. I dropped it on my napkin, not wanting them to see me eat it like that. I smiled nervously at the girls. Hi, one of the girls said. She had on a cute flowery tank top with spaghetti straps, and once again I felt the stink of being too afraid to wear such a thing. Hi, I said. How are you? I hoped desperately I didn't have any food on my face because I wasn't about to wipe my mouth with my foot or shoulder. We're good, another girl said. She was also very stylish, dressed in a cute green tank top and jean shorts. How are you? Good, I said, hoping the girls weren't just here out of curiosity. I scolded myself for assuming that was all they were interested in. Maybe they were going to ask me to come sit with them so I didn't have to eat lunch alone. Is it okay if we ask you what happened to your arms? Flowery tank top girl asked. Yep, curiosity. I sighed. I didn't have the energy to tell them my arms were chopped off in a guillotine or something like that, and these girls seemed far too nervous. I would probably terrify them. I recited instead, I have an extremely rare genetic disorder that causes malformation of the limbs. The girls looked alarmed. Is it contagious? Green tank top girl asked. I gazed at the girl, searching her face to see if she was serious. I imagined passing my armlessness on to other people, their fully grown arms shrinking and shriveling and getting sucked up into their shoulders with a terrible slurping sound after. I touched them. I slowly shook my head and spoke carefully so she would understand. No, it's genetic. That means you have to be born with it. The girls' faces all relaxed as Flowery Tank Top Girl said, Oh, that's good. It was nice meeting you. I watched them walk away. I looked down at my string cheese. The girls hadn't met me at all. They hadn't even asked me my name. No, what they had met were my missing arms. It was all they had seen and all that interested them. And not just out of curiosity, but because they were afraid they could catch it from me. I didn't feel hungry anymore. I packed up the rest of my lunch, stuck it in my bag, and waited for the bell to ring. So, another lunchtime, another not so great lunchtime. And I thought it was sort of interesting, though, about the peanut butter and jelly versus a turkey sandwich. I would not think about that because I'm dewy with my fingers, but she's right. Like, tomatoes and lettuce and stuff do fall out of the sandwich all the time, so it would be totally messy. Whereas peanut butter and jelly does stick together, so it'd be so much easier to hold. So that I thought that was interesting, that detail in the story. And then I wish she had, in a way, I wish she had told them that story that, no, if I touch you, your arms are going to wither and they're going to suck back up into your body and just see what they would do. Because, honestly, she was right. They weren't trying to get to know her. They didn't even ask her name. All they did was ask about her missing arms. And it just goes to show you that knowing somebody's name and calling a person by their name and just not, hey, you, indicates a relationship, that you know that person, that you want to know them, just by virtue of the fact that you're interested in what their name is and what you should call them. So by the fact that they didn't even ask, they didn't even say, hi, my name is Susie and Julie. They just went right into what they were concerned about and afraid of. And I think sometimes fear does make us not do the right thing, right? Sometimes when we're nervous or scared, we'll say the wrong thing. And sometimes that happens. But these girls didn't even apologize afterwards. They didn't say, oh gosh, well, we just hadn't ever met anyone with no arms, and, well, my name is such and such, and, would you like to eat lunch with us tomorrow? They just didn't care enough. They were just worried about themselves. So certainly not the day she was hoping to have, probably. But hopefully in the next couple days, things are going to turn up. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Chapter 7's done. We'll go on to Chapter 8 next.